Hayward West, who is the BDPA chapter president for Philadelphia. Actually, he completed his second year as the BDPA Philadelphia chapter president. And, of course, in 2010, the Philadelphia chapter hosted the national conference. Hayward, welcome to the show. How are you this evening?
I'm doing fine, Fran. How are you doing?
Just fine, thank you. Well, you know, it's so exciting to have chapter presidents on the line because they bring a certain energy. They're close to the members. They're connected on a regional level. They interact with the national leadership. And so they just have a perspective that is very invigorating. And I really wanted to jump right into the interview and ask you what originally got you involved in BDPA and what's your experience been as a chapter president?
Sure. So I had heard of BDPA, obviously, because it was founded here in Philadelphia, but I never had attended a meeting. You know, I was naive to think that, you know, I could get where I needed to go without being a part of an organization such as this. And working for my current employer, our CIO was looking for volunteers to go to the BDPA National Conference in Orlando and help recruit conference attendees to come work for us. And I was at the national conference, and I could hear the buzz around everything that was happening, especially with the high school computer competition. I was so impressed to hear about, you know, what these high school students were doing over a 2-day period, and then also meeting some of the current leaders that walked around and introduced themselves, and all the programs and seminars that were available. After seeing that, I was hooked, and I became a member right after that. And, you know, not too long after that, I became a member of the executive board for Philadelphia, and it really just changed my life. I saw how it enhanced all my opportunities, enhanced all the skill sets that I needed from both a professional and a personal standpoint.
Wow, that is really powerful. I kind of identify with that statement that initially you were naive to think that you could get to where you wanted to go without an organization. And I think I hear consistently that BDPA is one of those organizations that allows people to volunteer, develop their skills, and then, as Milt said, to leverage those skills into wonderful opportunities. Well, Hayward, thank you for sharing that journey. That's a great way to encourage more employers to be part of the career fair and send their employees as well. So
there's no question about it. I mean, I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, so continue. Please continue.
Well, it's just a matter of, you know, one of the big things, and it was not only a difference that I noticed, but my employers noticed. So they could see that because of, you know, my activities that I got involved with, and really was an opportunity to sharpen a lot of my skill sets, that it definitely translated, and they could see a difference in my day-to-day work for the company, and it opened up more opportunities there, and really, you know, opened the floodgates for me to continue to ascend to higher levels within the company, which prior to that, you know, I felt like I had reached, you know, a certain plateau and kind of like glass ceiling type of deal. So BDPA definitely played a huge role in that, and not just the sharpening of the skills, but also the building of the network, you know, finding individuals that were great coaches and building those relationships, which I think are so vital to anyone who is looking to grow in their career.
That is powerful. So as you translated the skills, the relationships, the network, how did that assist you as a president? Because I recognize as people listen to iRadio and hear the different perspectives and the message around volunteerism, there may be members that are now saying, you know, I should put my hand up to volunteer to be part of the executive board or get more involved in membership or consider, you know, in a year or two running for an office within the chapter. So what were some of the lessons that you learned as a chapter president? Because in sharing those, you may be inspiring someone who's thinking about being a chapter president in the future.
I saw being a chapter president as like being a CEO of a nonprofit organization. So you deal with sponsors, you deal with all types of members, community leaders, and your team on the executive board. I learned a great deal, from having those responsibilities, how to be a better manager, a better leader, a better strategist, and a better executor, in addition to becoming a much better listener. The role of the chapter president is a very challenging one, but, if you want to expand your capabilities, if you want to improve on what you can do, then you have to take on those challenges that will test all of your various talents. And being a chapter president or being involved on the executive board is a role that fits, that's able to provide you with those things that you need to expand your capabilities.
Well, that is a powerful vision. Being a chapter president is like being CEO of a nonprofit organization. The fact that you take that title. And I was also struck by the fact that it helps you be a better listener. Expand on, what helped you be a better listener, and how did that translate to you being more effective as a president and serving the members better?
As I truly believe that everyone has something to contribute, and I think that it's not a dictatorship, it's a presidency, and what you want to do is you want to be able to make sure everyone has a voice. Everyone has some great ideas, and I think by being a good listener, you don't always have to think that what you believe or that your idea is the best one, but being a good listener helps you to hear where other folks are coming from, and as overall, you'll be able to come up with a better solution to any issue that pops up. And I think that was part of the success that we had in the Philadelphia chapter. Having a strong team and everyone having a voice and everyone feeling comfortable being able to express their voice made us be able to make some very strong decisions, set some great strategy, and meet our goals.
Well, and that strategy, we're hearing strategy consistently. It's part of, and then the meeting the goals. And in fact, Philadelphia was the chapter of the year for 4 times, So Philadelphia knows how to produce. I do recognize that this year New York received that honor. And I think consistently as we look at the winners of that, there are those elements of the strong team, the leadership, and everyone having a voice. So 2 remaining questions as we begin to close out the show. One that I like to specifically ask chapter presidents is, what can chapters do to help members regardless of their status, whether they're a student or a professional, an entrepreneur, in transition, unemployed, underemployed? What can chapters do to help their members?
First and foremost is to be present. Listen to their needs, their concerns, and help them be successful, whether it's they're looking for a job or looking for an internship or advice and coaching, or if they're looking to make connections, is be present. BDPA is all about the membership. Membership. So it is our job to make sure that we serve those needs, and they can vary because we are from the classroom to the boardroom, and so we try to make sure that we have as many opportunities to interface with our members as possible. So whether it's our monthly program meetings or our monthly meet and greets, which is a little more social, or utilizing social media through our Facebook or LinkedIn, be present and be available for your members.
Okay. And Hayward, I want to again thank you for being a guest on the show. As we close out in this final minute or so, What's a final thought that you'd like to leave our audience with?
Well, first I want to say congratulations to Southern Minnesota for their win, and also for the New York chapter for their win. Greatly deserved. It's all about one BDPA. And the other thing that I would say is that I love this organization and everything it stands for. And the biggest thing for folks as they think about, what is the value that you get out of BDPA? Well, remember that you get out of it what you put into it. The more you put into it, the more you get out of it. And that's the one thing that I've learned through my years of being a member. The more that I decided to give of myself, the more I was rewarded with great opportunities and growth for myself.
Well, that is a wonderful way to finish up the program tonight. Opportunities and growth, BDPA, from the classroom to the boardroom, volunteerism in action. Hayward, thank you so much for being part of our show. Have a great evening.